Thank you for joining us on this Friday, February 7th.
Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News.
I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
And I'm Anna Muckenfuss.
Rising climate temperatures have local restaurant owners concerned about their food supplies. Ray's weather predicted that Boone would see approximately 33 inches of snow this winter. But Boone hasn't seen much this year, and forecasts are warmer than usual. The change in climate is affecting the quality and amount of locally grown produce used by restaurants like Farm Cafe. The nonprofit Community Kitchen offers meals to Boone residents in exchange for volunteer work. Elena Dalton is the program director for Farm Cafe. She says that a majority of the produce used in the kitchen is grown by local farmers. The amount of quality produce also available can also affect restaurant menus. Michaela Kellerman is a bartender and staff leader at Basil's. She says the restaurant offers the same meals daily, but has to change the menu if a food runs out of its supply. Meat is in danger of a shortage. While restaurateurs are concerned about climate change, they say it doesn't hinder them from doing what they love, feeding the community.
The town of Boone is working with engineers to provide a more accessible space for those in the community who are physically disabled. Boone is working with Stewart Engineering to improve sidewalks, greenway trails, and facilities. Terry Story is the Americans with Disabilities Act director. He says Boone will prioritize the transition of Uptown into an ADA-compliant area.
A newly proposed ERA is designed to guarantee equal legal rights for all American citizens, regardless of sex. The amendment seeks to end legal distinction between gender on issues such as divorce, property, and employment. Alice Paul of the National Women's Party first proposed the amendment to Congress in 1923.
That's interesting, Xanayra, but here's another thing. 100 years later, the amendment is still in limbo. The amendment was proposed by Congress to the states for ratification.
Well, Anna, in North Carolina, House Bill 271 was introduced last March in the General Assembly's House of Representatives. The bill was co-sponsored by App State computer science professor and state representative Ray Russell. He says it is past the time to ratify the ERA.
Brianna Dollara is a volunteer at the Women's Center. She says ratifying the ERA would be a big step towards equality.
I think it should be ratified because I feel like it's a big step in the right direction. And if we really want there to be equality in this world, then we need to take risks. And although it will be a risk, I think that will be beneficial in the end.
Bills are not expected to leave their committee and be introduced to the floor. A bicyclist was taken to the hospital on Monday after colliding with a motorcycle on River Street. App State Police and Boone Fire responded to the crash at the intersection in front of Peacock Hall before noon. Amber Stanley Smith responded to the scene. She says that the motorcyclist was trying to turn left onto River Street when he collided with a biker. Stanley Smith says she is investigating the cause of the crash.
An App State club is raising money to install a new vending machine on campus that will promote reproductive health. App State's chapter of Planned Parenthood Generation Action wants to raise money to install a machine in the student union. The machine will supply free condoms, hygiene products, Plan B, and pregnancy tests. The vending machine will be set up on campus by the end of April. Maggie Bem is the co-president of PPGA. She says that the hours of the Student Health Center create difficulties for students. Health Services is open 45 hours a week, but the student union is open 105 hours per week. Bem says the machine will be placed in the union because it will double the amount of time students can access the resource.
Health Services is open 45 hours a week, and the student union is open 105 hours a week. And there's only like 4 to 8 hours where you can park on campus and go to the health services. Whereas for the student union, there's at least like 6 hours per day where you can park on campus and go to the student union.
The outdoor Watauga County Farmers Market opens again in May, but farmers need to sell their produce even during the off-season. Our correspondent Richard Barker has the story of the market that gives them this opportunity.
With the weather getting colder every day, some farmers find it hard to have a good place to sell their crops in the off-season. Many venues close during the winter months, decreasing the options for both farmers and customers. This really hurts farmers trying to make money during the slower parts of the year. The Watauga County Agricultural Center offers a place for local farmers to sell their produce to the community. Running from the beginning of December all the way to April, local farms gather here every Saturday to show off their goods, in addition to some local craftsmen and artists. Larson Smith is a local farmer who relies on the winter market.
Well, farmers markets are important because it gives us an outlet to sell our products. We have lots of local products around that most people don't really know about. And it's like this one in the winter, it's really important to get your products out there during the slow season, because there's no other way to make money up here other than make it yourself or work with the ski mountains and stuff. So
there's always something going on as well, from live music at the market to chili cooking competitions. Open to everybody, the Winter's Farmers Market is every Saturday from 9 to 12, supporting Boone's local agriculture when they really need it. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Richard Barker.
Since the 1950s, the Chinese government has suppressed religious freedom and way of life in Tibet. A new club on campus aims to aid in the injustice of Tibetans while operating in Boone. Justin Marks is a junior sustainable development major. This semester, he is starting Students for a Free Tibet. Club chapters exist on other college campuses, but App State's chapter is a first for North Carolina. As the only organization recognized in the state, Mark says he feels responsible to fight for Tibetans in any way he can.
I just feel like I have the privilege and the opportunity to lift up their voices, and it's been happening for 70 years. The religious freedom has been denied and denounced for over 70 years, and no one's talking about it, and it's time that their human rights are respected.
Mark says he has encountered support from Tibetans who message him on Instagram. Marks and the club plan to travel to Washington, D.C. March 23rd through 24th for Tibetan Lobby Day. Here they will speak with lawmakers about Tibetan human rights and religious freedom. If you are interested in being a part of the Free Tibet movement, you can keep up with the club on their Instagram at Free Tibet App State.
App State's Climate Action Plan initiative will push for carbon neutrality by 2035 in response to the worsening climate crisis. Lee Ball is the Chief Sustainability Officer. He put together a forum for students and faculty to discuss topics like campus heating, transportation, and reducing carbon emissions. App State will be more sustainable by 2022. Ball says once the current utility contract runs out, the university will have the ability to purchase solar power.
App State's physical plant has changed its name because of frequent confusion and to keep up with other universities' similar terms. The service now operates as Facilities Operations. Michelle Novacek is a business analyst and spokesperson for Facilities Operations.
We changed our name from Physical Plant because nobody really knew what Physical Plant was. So having facilities in our name kind of clues people into what we do.
Facilities Operations is a division of facilities management responsible for university upkeep. This includes maintenance needs such as signage, snow removal, and power outages. Novacek says current employers still call themselves a physical plant in conversation, adding, quote, "You don't just change the way you think or your language overnight," unquote. The name change follows a recent similar instance of food services changing its name to campus dining. App State's 17th annual dance marathon is grooving its way on campus. Participants of the marathon dance for 15 hours to raise money for 2 local nonprofits in the high country.
That's right, Xanayra, and if you would like to dance Boogie Wonderland all night long, the ACT office hopes to raise $45,000 for 2 local nonprofits. One of them is Western Youth Network. It provides after-school care and other services for at-risk youth in Watauga County. The second nonprofit is Parent to Parent, which helps in supporting parents of children with special needs.
Those are some great causes, Anna. Both teams and individuals register for the marathon, pledging $150. The ACT office hopes to have 300 people registered for the event. Cammie Wallet is the co-chair of Dance Marathon. She emphasizes a push in registration because, quote, "The more people we have there, the more fun it's going to be," unquote.
Dance Marathon takes place February 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. at Legends. You can register for the event at act.appstate.edu/dance-marathon. Many students were left in the dark after a brief power outage affected several buildings on the west side of campus, as well as the bookstore and the library. A bad transformer that tripped a breaker in a substation caused the outage, according to University Services. Power was restored to all buildings early Monday evening.
Latinx students at App State have a campus ministry they feel proud to belong to, called Destino. The ministry is back for another semester and is ready for fellowship with new students. The Destino group is a part of CREW, a Christian student ministry on campus. Sisters Carol and Raquel Asensio started the group in fall of 2018 because they say the Latinx community on campus is big, yet no one was reaching out to them. Stephanie Garcia is a sophomore industrial design major. She says she enjoys Destino because it offers a space to feel represented spiritually.
Destino offers a space for Latino students or any sort of diverse or different background students on campus to feel that they're represented in the spiritual way. This is just a space for them to be vulnerable and have a familia.
Destino meets every Wednesday at 7:30 in the evening in Plemons Student Union, room 155.
Owners of a local food truck are opening a Mexican goods shop. Alejandro and Ashley Leon are the owners of El Taqueriendo, which serves authentic Mexican street food. The couple hopes to attract new customers with the opening of El Barrio Mexican Goods. The new store will have an extension of the food truck with seating and merchandise and will serve Mexican food, beer, and more. El Barrio will also offer parking for other food trucks when El Taqueriendo is not parked there. El Barrio Mexican Goods is located at 415 Blowing Rock Road and is expected to open this month. Next year will bring changes to on-campus dining.
Our correspondent Justin Lundy has the story on what those changes are.
Over the past several years, App State students have had a certain amount of money on their app cards. In the fall, App State plans on introducing an unlimited swipe system for incoming freshmen and upperclassmen. According to Student Body Vice President Michael Davis, some on-campus lunch spots may also get a makeover.
Making dining halls a third place on campus, people kind of think of residence halls and your student union, but just adding spaces on campus in the dining hall that, for meeting spaces and just overall making a more inviting atmosphere that people are willing to just stay there beyond when they eat.
There's also the possibility that new food chains could come to Central Dining Hall. Michael Davis says that Comeback Shack and China Walk are a couple of the restaurants being considered. Some students are already enthusiastic about the idea.
I'm a vegetarian and there's honestly not a lot of options that the dining hall offers, and I know Comeback Shack doesn't really have that many pertaining to vegetarian options, but I think the little that they do would help provide that to Appalachian, because I know that we only have 2 dining halls that don't offer a lot. So it would be cool.
Renovation plans haven't been made public yet, but they're on the way. I've reached out to some App State administrators, and I'll keep you updated when I hear back from them. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Justin Lundy.
While several music venues are located around Boone, 4 App State students are sticking to their backyard. They started a band called Lucy in their freshman year.
They perform concerts in their home, which they call the Greenhouse. Justin Rosario is the guitarist and vocalist for the band. He says that playing music for each other and playing music for a crowd is comfortable and organic.
If you're looking for a new show to attend, the first house show of the semester is March 20th and will feature Lucy, Slurp Wave, and Slow Stab.
Well, now it's time to check in on sports with Connor Davidson. What's up, Connor? I hear tennis is doing good.
Yes, and it's not just tennis. Overall, a pretty good week for sports. But App State women's tennis did secure its first win of the season on February 1st. The Mountaineers had an impressive performance over Campbell, winning 6-1. Sasha Piserva is still undefeated in singles matches this season, while 4 others earned their first wins this year. Piserva is also ranked number 48 nationally, which is the highest ranking in school history for women's tennis. The Mountaineers now look ahead to their match against UNC Greensboro on Tuesday in Boone. App State Wrestling is continuing to have success this season. On Sunday, the Mountaineers faced off against Chattanooga. The final score of this match was 27-12. Cody Russell and Kerry Miller had the biggest margin of victory in their matches, winning 21-5 and 16-0 respectively. With this win, the Mountaineers now sit at 4-0 in conference play and are now looking forward to the next match tomorrow against the Citadel. App State men's basketball took on Little Rock on February 1st. The last time these two teams met, App State had trouble scoring and squeaked out just 57 points. This time, they couldn't miss, and they shot a program record 72.7%. Despite the strong offensive performance, the Mountaineers fell to the Trojans 93-86 in a very high-scoring game. Last night, App State looked to turn things around against UT Arlington. At halftime, the Mountaineers held a 31-25 lead and never trailed for the remainder of the game. App State took the win 57-50. Justin Forrest has led the team in scoring all season, but he had just 6 points and 8 turnovers. Not to worry, O'Shawn Williams poured in a career-high 25 points, and Hunter Seacat added 13 points as well. Tomorrow, the Mountaineers take on Texas State in Boone. App State women's basketball faced Georgia Southern on the first. This was a close game to the final buzzer, but in the end, it was the Mountaineers who took the win 83-75. Bree Stanley and Ashley Polachek led all scorers with 18 points apiece, and Bailey Plummer added a double-double with 14 points and 15 rebounds. Last night, Mountaineers looked to continue their win streak against UT Arlington. The Mavericks outscored App State 22-11 in the first quarter, and that deficit was too much to overcome for the remainder of the game. The Mountaineers lost 63-44 and are now 6-15 overall and 3-7 in conference games. App State now looks to bounce back tomorrow at Texas State. I'm Connor Davidson. That's all for sports, and let's hope these teams can really keep up the success they're having.
That's right, Connor. It sounds like March Madness has come to Boone a little bit early.
And now it's time for your High Country High Note.
A local tutoring program is providing volunteer and learning experience to education majors.
App State education majors tutor Hardin Park Elementary School students at Perkinsville Baptist Church. The tutoring program helps an average of 20 students per week. Audrey Jones is a former volunteer of the program. She says that her time at Perkinsville led her to change her focus to middle grades education.
Frankie Josho is the director of the program. He says the program has always used student volunteers.
Perkinsville tutoring program has been around for almost a decade. We've been consistently employing App State students through volunteer-based programs, whether it be people who have come to us as members and have decided to volunteer, or reaching out to the education department at App State or Caldwell even.
Tutoring takes place Wednesday from 2 to 5 in the afternoon.
That's a report this week. I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
And I'm Anna Muckenfuss.
For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
It's snowing outside, so stay warm, and we'll see you next week.